Just a couple reminders before we get started here with this press conference. We're going to start with an opening statement from the head coach, and then we're going to go to questions for the student athletes. Once those are done, we'll excuse the student athletes, and then we'll go to questions for the head coach. If you want to raise your hand, someone will be around with a microphone. Please give your name as well as your affiliation prior to asking a question. With that, opening statement from Coach Paris.
Not sure where to start, but I guess just with the game, I don't know how many minutes we led during the game. It was more than it was less. I do know that. And so we were grinding and executing fairly well defensively. We had a couple bursts offensively that allowed us to get going and take or extend a lead, and then but we didn't play well. Well, I take that back. We talk about playing well and performing well. I think we played well. I do. I think we played well. We were where we were supposed to. We did what we were supposed to. We didn't perform great. We got a shot and didn't make it. We didn't snag a rebound, so we didn't perform well, but I thought we did play well. And we got a competitive team now. I said it before we started this. At face value, our team is pretty good. Not compared to the SoCon or compared to any other league. At face value, if you want to watch a good team or play against a good team, we got a good team. And so I've believed it. Some guys don't get a chance to watch them very much, so maybe they don't know that. But hopefully people could see what this team collectively came together and got accomplished. So tough way to go out, obviously. The last game is always going to be a hard one, but under those circumstances, I think it was even tougher for our older guys and just for our group as together, tight-knit group. I've done this 26 years. This is my favorite group. So maybe it's not that close, but this is a great group. Anyway.
For you, yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got questions for Coach Paris here. Please raise your hand. Down here in the front.
Again, Gene Henley, Chattanooga Times Free Press. Lamont, I've never seen you this emotional before. What's going through your mind?
I don't know. Just this group is a different group. They're abnormally close and connected and abnormally fun to be around, and they let me coach them. And so, anyways, just I've done it a long time. I respect that every team is different, some in great ways, some in not so great ways, but this is an incredible group to be around. And honestly, when I say that, it has less to do with what they do on the basketball court. They're good. They have a good team. They play well. They play well together. They let me coach them. They let me come along. So anyway, yeah, that's what it boils down to, is just the group that we have. We got a lot of older guys, some guys that took chances on me and us in this university. And so I'm thankful. I'm not sure that word really does justice to how I feel about it, but I guess it's as good as word as I have right now. So I am thankful to be around them every day, and it just was hard. So,
Angela Moran, News 12. Coach, what a ride it's been. What do you think you'll take away the most from this season?
Yeah, just the interactions that guys had with each other. It's always, as 20 years from now, it's what I'll think about. It'll be more of that stuff, and guys' personalities, and just all those things that it has to do with just a team coming together. And that's why we did what we did. I think we have good players. Certainly there are teams that have better players than we do, here or there individually. But collectively as a group, there's 358 teams. I feel like a lot of guys would want to coach my team. So that's what I think about. It's very hard for me to even look at the future, honestly, and what that's going to look like. But I'm really entrenched and focused on these guys and what they've done and how they'll respond to this.
Stevens, Illini guys. Lamont, what do you feel like led to? What do you feel like led to 16 offensive rebounds against Illinois? And going into this one, did you feel like that was going to be a strength for you guys to be able to maybe go get it off the glass if you had missed?
Yeah, we did. It was on the board when we put a couple things up on the board before we go out in a game, and it's that are specific things that in this game we want to try to get accomplished, and that was one. That was one of them, was to get to the offensive glass, attack it, be relentless as we do it, be physical and strong as we went, and then try to generate some other opportunities. And so we did. We did a good job with that. I just thought it was I thought it was an advantage for us. I just did. I just watching them, in a lot of games it has been. In watching them though, I thought if we were committed to going on a consistent basis and laying a body on a guy and pursuing the ball relentlessly, I thought it was an area that we could have some success.
In your eyes, what was the difference maker in this game that flipped the switch?
They made some shots. We didn't rebound the ball well. I mean, there were a few things. We turned the ball over too much. Typically, we don't do that. But we gave them some offensive rebounds too in seemingly critical situations that allowed Plummer to get going. Maybe his first three was definitely one of the 2 threes was off of an offensive rebound, and so that kind of got him going. He went bang bang on a couple, but we fought back. But there were some very untimely offensive rebounds, including late in the game. We don't get it. We end up fouling them. We send Frazier to the line for 2 free throws he makes. So the rebounding was on that end of it. We weren't great when we needed to. But also we turn it over. We turn it over too many times. We're normally fairly efficient. Malachi leads that. He struggled today. We had a couple other guys that struggled today as far as our efficiency, but we did enough that we still could have been in position to win the game. Had we just whatever our percentage was, I haven't even looked, in those 18 possessions that we turned it over, let's say we cut that down into half. So on those 9 possessions, let's say we were shooting 10% on those, right? Well, that's in a game like this, obviously that makes a difference.
Last question for Coach right here.
Greg Larnard, ESPN Chattanooga. Coach, despite the untimely offensive rebounds that you were just discussing, talk a little bit about the big men. I know you've talked a lot about it this season, how that group has been really strong for you, and the depth is depth that normally a team in your position doesn't usually have, and all 3 of them had to play big minutes tonight. Just talk a little bit about what they brought to the table and how they battled Kofi in this one. Yeah,
he's a big, strong guy. I don't want to minimize any other impacts he has or qualities as a human being, but as a basketball player, I do know this: he's really big and strong, and so it took a lot of people to get in there and guard him different ways. Sometimes we used quickness, other times we literally laid on him, and it was a stalemate that way, and we were fighting for dear life. But yeah, guys had to use fouls. Josh Ieni, on his 4th foul, that was a calculated decision that he made to foul there. We were not in the bonus. He had got caught in a bad spot, so he fouled. So it was very smart of him to do that. We talk about that oftentimes. So, but yeah, all those guys. Avery Diggs is the longest guy we have probably overall. So it's a different look when you have him go in there. Casey Hankton, even our 4th big 5-man, did a good job of being active. He's a little quicker, and so it was just trying to throw a lot of different looks at him, trying to make him earn stuff that he got. He got a couple easy ones, but I think for the most part he earned a lot of the stuff that he got, and he's a good player. You know, we held him below his average, I think, or whatever that was. We did enough, right? We definitely did enough that if we have a reasonable day offensively, not to go in another direction with it, but that's what I always hope for when I get a team that I think is really good and is going to defend at a high level. I just pray for a reasonable day offensively. Doesn't have to be the best, that's for sure, but let's just not have 2 guys have one of the worst days they've ever had. It's all I ever want. And if you do that, typically you're going to be right in the mix to get some stuff done, and we've done that all season, and that's why we're here. We did it again today. We just happened to have a day where a couple guys didn't perform great offensively.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.